Every morning, thousands of students walk through the front doors of their schools, crossing a familiar threshold to start the day. For decades, keeping those students secure was treated as a strictly physical engineering problem. Administrators built high fences, installed heavy locks, and hired guards to patrol the hallways. Look at this blueprint of a modern campus. The solid lines dissolve into glowing digital nodes, radiating outward into every student's pocket. Watch as a digital threat instantly bypasses physical barriers, striking the center of the student body. Because the school's reach has expanded, relying on physical security alone is an incomplete strategy. It leaves the entire community exposed to threats that never have to cross a physical threshold. Even after the morning bell rings and physical lessons begin, a hidden layer of digital communication runs continuously in the background. A harmful message or an embarrassing photo shared in a group chat creates an immediate disruption. The anxiety it generates affects real students sitting at real desks. Technical firewalls cannot parse human intent or stop a cruel joke. Mitigating these disruptions requires human intervention at multiple levels. Safety is a collaborative network. It requires everyone in the building to act as a sensor to detect harm and a shield to deflect it. The adults in the building provide the structural foundation for this network, operating mostly behind the scenes. This network topology map illustrates the IT team's role. They maintain a rigid perimeter shield, blocking external threats while allowing safe internal traffic. Complementing this, the map reveals secure, encrypted pathways. School leaders build these confidential reporting channels to capture internal vulnerabilities. Parents support this structure by guiding healthy device habits at home, while teachers monitor the physical classroom for subtle changes in a student's behavior. However, this entire adult-built infrastructure is entirely passive. It represents potential energy that remains dormant until it is activated by the student body. The true test of this infrastructure happens during the chaotic transitions between classes. Out in the hallways, student agency drives the culture of the school. The first line of defense is a simple micro-decision, the pause. It is the moment a student steps back to think before posting a frustrated or angry comment. Next is the pedit. This is the active choice to break a chain of harm by refusing to forward an embarrassing photo or participate in digital exclusion. Isolation is often the starting point for digital conflict. When students actively pull marginalized peers into the conversation, they dismantle the social barriers that can lead to resentment or escalating threats. Finally, there is the intervention. Students are uniquely positioned to recognize when a peer's online behavior signals an escalating threat or a cry for help. These split-second micro-decisions form the front line. They neutralize threats long before the adult infrastructure ever needs to be triggered. The most difficult decision often happens in a quiet one-on-one space, where a student has to weigh the complex psychology of reporting a concern. The fear of snitching often stops people from acting. However, reporting a concern creates a window for help. It transforms a private struggle into a shared opportunity for support before a situation spirals. Utilizing a reporting channel early is the single most effective circuit breaker. It stops small, manageable concerns from developing into irreversible tragedies. When the final bell rings and we pull back to view the entire community, the impact of those individual actions becomes clear. This animated arch represents school culture. Notice how it is not a single solid piece of concrete. It is built from hundreds of small, interlocking blocks, the sum of our daily micro-decisions. Watch the structural integrity drop when individuals ignore their responsibility. As a few blocks slide out from the base, the entire structure sags and flashes a warning. Rebuilding that integrity requires 3 clear directives. Be kind online, remain alert offline, and speak up immediately when something feels wrong. True safety begins and ends with daily choices. Every individual who walks through those doors is an active architect of their school's culture.